Getting started reading books is one of the biggest things that changed my life in the past few years. Honestly, I hate reading. I really don't enjoy it. The reason you should pick up a book and start reading is because how much you can actually learn from books. Think about the fact that there's so many people you'll never be able to meet in life. Some of the smartest people, some of the smartest business minds, some of even the people who have lived hundreds of years ago that you'll never be able to meet of years ago because those people just aren't alive anymore. A lot of those people have written books. They put down their ideas and what they've thought about not only their lives, but their practices, what they're really good at, things that they've learned throughout their lives. And why would you not want to learn and take advantage of that? Getting started is really difficult because a lot of the time, especially in the current day and age, we're always on our phone. There's always something like a TV to watch, videos to watch, something else to read, or something else to do because there's so many things happening on the internet. It's easy for us to be distracted. I used to struggle a lot reading and I haven't liked it for a very long time, but I recently only got into it for about 2 years now. The impacts it's had on my mindset, the way I communicate and the way I speak to people has greatly changed a lot of my life, and that's why I think everybody should be reading. If you're a younger guy looking to excel, get better, and keep improving yourself, especially at a young age like this, you're gonna need to start reading because you want to take in as much knowledge as you can, especially from people who are way smarter than you. I don't remember the exact numbers, but I know for a fact a lot of millionaires read books, and of course, if everybody else is doing it that's super smart and making a lot of money, it only makes sense for you to do the things and replicate the actions that other successful people have had, or people who are in the shoes that you want to be in. You should take the same steps and do the same things if you want to meet and be in the same places as those people. There's a lot of different options. There's a lot of different options when it comes to which book you should start reading and what you're looking to improve in your daily life. A lot of parents might say, hey, you should start reading. Reading is really good for you. And honestly, a lot of that reading that people talk about is pretty fake because they're reading storybooks. And while there's nothing wrong with storybooks, they're super cool. They give you the whole fantasy thing. And I mean, the Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, a lot of these things started as books initially and then moved into movies and created these huge franchises and IPs. The issue is those aren't the books we actually want to be reading. We want to make sure we're reading books like self-development books, self-improvement books, and especially business books, because those are going to put us in the correct mindset for us to start excelling and getting better. If you spend a little bit of time every single day trying to improve yourself, even 1% over a full year's time period, you'd actually increase and get better 37% better only over 1 year. Imagine if you accelerate that and you zoom out to 10, 20 years and you're trying to get 1% better every single year, 36 times, 36%. As it adds up, you're gonna be a completely different person by not only the end of the year, but in huge time spans of 10 and 20 years. The effects you can have of reading, learning, and putting yourself in a better position will literally last a lifetime. Starting off and getting a really good book that you think will actually grab your attention and pull you in, something that you think you need to learn, is definitely the most important part. Whether it's financial, whether it's personal, teaches one of the skills that you're looking to learn is really, really important in grabbing your attention, pulling you in, making you read the book, and then also keeping you and making you want to keep learning through something like reading. All of the smartest people on earth, no matter how many videos they make or whatever they do, you can always see those same people promoting their books and their autobiographies or their biographies about things they've done and showing a lot of their experience. The reason that is because books throughout history have been one of the biggest mediums. Writing things down on paper, telling a story, and explaining something has been in our society and something we've done throughout history for so many years. Now, if you're watching this, you might just be thinking, I'll do this later, and it's not a huge deal. The thing you should be focusing on is getting started right now. Stop wasting time. Order the book right now. When it comes in, start creating good habits right away. Find a time where you can read, even if it's 10, 15 minutes before bed, even if it's only reading a page or two a day, it can really make a difference, especially if you haven't been reading at all. Start with a page a day. The more and more you create good habits, it'll start to draw you in. You'll start to want to keep learning and read a little bit more, and you'll make more time as you go. But find a time slot that you can do consistently all the time. A time like waking up or going to bed, for me, are the easiest things, but you can do it during lunch or different times throughout the day. Whenever you have a little gap and time period where you're usually scrolling on your phone or feel like you're wasting time, rather than being in a position where you beat yourself up at the end of the day, or even after a few years or at the end of the month when you're thinking, wow, I could have done so much more, I could have done this, I could have done this. Put yourself in a position where you want to succeed. You put the time into something that you find actually valuable. valuable. And reading is kind of one of those skills and one of those things that once you start learning to develop and once you start really enjoying the process of gaining information, even for me right now, I don't enjoy reading all the time. I don't enjoy going out of my way to make sure I'm reading, but it's super important. I've learned so freaking much from it that I could just never give it up at this point. I'll make a video on the best books I recommend reading, especially as a starter, because that's kind of where I'm at right now. I would say I'm a little bit at an intermediate level at this point after reading different books over the past few years, but most of the books I've read and kind of where I'm at right now are beginner to intermediate starter books where you're just kind of learning a lot of generalized knowledge because you're not super specialized yet. You don't know everything that you want to do, especially at the age that we are right now. If you know this is something you need to do, check out my other video about pushing yourself to do the things you don't want to do and how that can greatly impact you.